In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Benioff and Weiss, the duo that created the HBO Game of Thrones series, spoke about their canceled Star Wars project. We all know that it was announced a while ago that they were going to spearhead something in the realm of Star Wars, and now we actually have some information about what they were working on. The information is very, it's vague for the most part and limited, but it does give a peek into their thought process, what they were working on, and a tiny bit of details here. They said, quote, "We wanted to do the first Jedi," basically how the Jedi Order came to be, why it came to be, the first lightsaber. Lucasfilm ended up not wanting to do a first Jedi story. We had a very specific story idea in mind, and ultimately they decided they didn't want to do that. And we totally get it, it's their company and their IP, but we weren't the droids they were looking for, close quote. If you guys have been listening and following me for a while, you know that I love the idea of going way back in time and kind of, looking at the people who discovered the Force, because I've always looked at the Force as something that's always been there, like gravity, right? But it took someone or a group of people to discover it. And maybe this story wouldn't be that, but the idea of going back in time and seeing the beginning of something like this would be really interesting. I absolutely love the idea. Now, all hope is not lost, of course, for this idea. James Mangold is working on that Dawn of the Jedi movie. So maybe, his movie will fill that void, that desire for me, But I would have loved to see what they came up with. That's my thing. I want a bunch of different directors and writers to kind of get their hands into the sandbox and play around with Star Wars and breathe new and interesting ideas and life into the franchise that can sometimes feel a little repetitive. Sometimes it feels like we're mulching over the same stuff, especially with a lot of modern Star Wars shows. We're kind of revisiting things that we're already familiar with, characters and whatnot. So to have a story that takes place way back in time in a period that we're completely unfamiliar with characters that we're completely unfamiliar with a story that we're completely unfamiliar with, would be very exciting for me. I hope James Mangold's film Dawn of the Jedi is going to be great, as we all do. That's kind of a redundant statement, right? And Lucasfilm obviously didn't poo-poo the general idea of exploring the beginnings of the Jedi Order. They're pushing a movie Dawn of the Jedi forward, so it's probably the case that they just didn't really care for the story, which, as Benioff and Weiss said, they totally get that. It's their company and their IP, and there's a path that they want to kind of go down. They probably have some ideas of how they want things to progress, and their idea maybe just didn't fit in with the mold of what they were trying to do, But it is a little nugget of Star Wars news that popped up yesterday, and I figured, it'd be fun to talk about it briefly. But I love the idea. The first Jedi, obviously we have The Last Jedi. We have Dawn of the Jedi coming out, which is a title that I actually like more than The First Jedi. Dawn of the Jedi, well, I don't know if I do or not. I like Star Wars titles kind of cut and dry. The Last Jedi is a great title. You look at the original trilogy and the titles of those movies: A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. They're very cut and dry. This is what's happening. The Empire is striking back, right? And then you get into The Phantom Menace, which is a little more vague and hippy dippy, and then you get into Attack of the Clones. That's very cut and dry. Revenge of the Sith. That's very cut and dry. The Force Awakens. That's pretty cut and dry, right? The Last Jedi, very cut and dry. The Rise of Skywalker, it's a little more vague, but it's there. The First Jedi, I guess that fits that mold. But anyway, I'm just rambling here. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. There's really nothing more to say about this. I'd be very surprised if we didn't hear more information about their ideas or the dealings with Lucasfilm and how, that all went down. I like behind the scenes stuff like that. It'd be very interesting to see, where they were taking their story before it got canned. But anyway, have a fantastic day. HelloGreedo out.